Millionaires of Reddit. How did you become so wealthy? In my 20s, I was a computer programmer just as the web started exploding in popularity. I could wire up websites and databases back when internet technologies were new and tooling was still primitive. I never hit it big with a viral website like Facebook or Amazon, but I did charge a lot for programming services. And I used that money to buy houses at first and ultimately an apartment building in coastal California. In my 40s now, I don't feel very wealthy really. Oddly, I still check prices when shopping, and I plan to drive my old Jeep until it dies. When I travel, I often pay to fly first class, and I do enjoy the nicer hotels. But other than that, I live and spend rather simply. I always save up a lot of money, 40% of my pay, and continually put it into stocks. Investment returns have outdone my savings for quite a while. I live in Eastern Europe. In 1990, I took out a huge loan and bought 10 apartments and furnished them. I rent them out to people, and with the money I earn from them, I pay off the loan payments. I do this every 10 years. I have now 30 apartments and one employee who I pay to maintain them and make sure payments and maintenance is handled. The key is finding good tenants and maintaining a good relationship with them. It is not that hard, but a key to this strategy. I used to run an apple cart in NYC, would buy an apple for 5 cents and sell it for 10 cents. Did this for 20 years. Then my wife's father died and left us a chain of hotels. I sell overpriced consultancy time to CTOs who don't know any better. Please send me £1. When a million people have sent their pound, I will be able to answer this question. I actually hit big at a casino a while back. Not enough where I can afford to quit my job and buy a mansion, but I'm comfy and so will my son be. Being frugal, not buying new cars, not caring about what others think, saving and investing and doing it again, not making knee-jerk investments, letting them ride long term and not freaking out every market correction. For me, it was a slow game, but fun to watch it take off. Searches this thread for a sugar daddy. STEM degree plus minimalism. I opened an avocado toast food truck. I sold 18% of my company for a large sum of money, and we worked together to expand. Get out of and stay out of debt. Live within your means and spend, save, give your money on purpose. Make and stick to a budget planned ahead of time. Save for retirement from your very first job. Work every job with excellence and look for ways to go above and beyond to serve others, and you'll be rewarded with raises and more opportunities to do so with more responsibility. I was born. It all came from my parents. I get a lot of crap from my friends in college, lol. My parents, on the other hand, went from living in lower middle class India, born in late 50s, so basically studying hard and family bonds were what kept them going. Came to California for a master's and PhD and worked for massive tech companies for about 30 years. My dad went up to executive director or something. They invested a lot of money and bought houses in India and rented them out. The house they bought here in California went from 1.1 million to about 3.5 million dollars. I'm not, but my grandparents were. They become wealthy by saving money and investing. You never know they were wealthy by what they drove or wore. It really isn't that complicated to become a millionaire. But being a millionaire nowadays isn't really that crazy. Just save and invest. Worked hard and made saving a priority from day one. Started at saving 10% of my gross, and now I'm saving 19%. Invested fairly conservatively. Never once in 30 years have I dipped into my long-term accounts. The result, home mortgage with about a $10,000 balance on it, not a single penny of consumer debt, car loan, credit card, etc. And I think it's been 20 years since I've paid a penny of consumer debt interest. Put 2 kids through 9 years of college, nice house, frequent meaningful vacations, etc. 1.9 million in the bank. I'm 53 and could retire in the next year or two if I wanted. 2 inviolable rules. 1. Save 10% minimum from day one of your first real job and increase that each year. And 2. Never ever pull your credit card out of your pocket unless you can pay it off in full at the end of the month or it's a flat out life changing emergency. I don't think my family has ever sacrificed once. It's not hard. My mom died. Started playing the stock market as an investment in college and basically got lucky. Now I work in an industry I love, hotel management, while my money makes more money for me because it is invested well and I live fairly modestly. Technically, I'm a millionaire on the valuation of my house alone. It's modest. I bought it new at a same price 20 odd years ago and we paid it off early. Now, housing is insanely priced here, and I have my $1 million 2-bedroom house. I could get $1 million out of it, but then I have to leave town. Meanwhile, restaurants are threatening to close because they can't pay their line cooks enough to live on and still make a profit. I don't call it real wealth. There's some money too, some saved, some inherited. So, yes, I lived a modest life and kept what I could, but larger circumstances had a lot to do with it. Mined Bitcoin and held it. In short, I have lived below my means, saved and invested, paid myself first, avoided most consumer debt, delayed lifestyle inflation, and gotten lucky with company stock and a frugal wife. That allowed me to invest in real estate, which is now paying 2/3 of my paycheck in passive income. Net worth about 2.9 million. We started a restaurant. We started to pay off all debt and saving 30 years ago. Basically, Dave Ramsey, before Dave Ramsey was around, was tired of paycheck to paycheck living, started living on a budget and saving as much as I could. Really started snowballing after 10 years. After debt was gone, the cash really started to build. Still live on a monthly budget. Started 2 businesses. One, an investment firm when I was 29, which became my full-time job, and the second, one whiskey distillery in the past 2 years, 34 now. I will say one thing about being a millionaire is that it does not mean you have a great cash flow all the time. For example, most of my money is tied up in equity in my business. Not a millionaire yet, but 29 and a half way there. I bought 2 houses in Seattle, one next to Microsoft, originally for $450K, is now worth $800K. Another close by. I have more than $500,000 in equity in 3.5 years. Plus, I started a side business consulting, which has brought me in an extra $100K or so each year. Like others say, cash flow is absolutely still a problem. You may have assets and whatnot, but I have big bills. If I cashed out now, I will be at about $600K after taxes. I am 29. I think getting started young and contributing to your 401K as early as possible. Always putting money in savings and property is the way to go. The side business is almost not worth all my free time, but I am going to grow it to the point where I can sell it for great cash. It takes hard work. The quickest path I see is property. Millionaire from business equity, but not liquid. Started companies and just kept going. I'm 33. I grew up milking cows on a dairy farm. I came from very humble beginnings. I started a business at the age of 18 and went to college full time and worked 30 hours a week simultaneously. I became a millionaire at the age of 25 and a multi-millionaire at the age of 32. My company has flourished through hard work and dedication. I literally worked 7 days a week for the first 12 years of my life. I have various real estate investments and stock holdings and have generated numerous cash flows. Worked smart, not really that hard, and saved a lot of money. Dabbled in rental real estate for a while, still do, but less so. Then I sold my 50% stake in the business that was my full-time job. Sold a few buildings too. I invested all the proceeds. I then moved to a new city for lifestyle reasons and started a new business doing what I used to do. I'm saving a lot of money I'm making now too. If you enjoy this content, please make sure to like and subscribe.